second golf major of the season gets underway tomorrow. It's the US Open at Chambers Bay, which is hosting the event for the first time. Tommy Fleetwood, who's from the Formby Hall Club, is in the field, and he tees off alongside Charlie Hoffman and Camillo Villegas. Joining us now is Richie Marsden, the head instructor of the PGA Academy at Formby Hall. Hiya, Richie.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
I'm very good, thanks. You know Tommy very well indeed. Is his game in good shape at the moment?
Yeah. Do you know his progress over this season's been pretty good. He's just broken into the world's top 50 this year, which is a big achievement for anybody, but for Tom especially. That was one of his goals coming into the year. So he's in good form. He's been working hard, and he just had a week at home, just practicing and just ironing out a few things last week. So, he's in good shape.
There's been a lot of focus, hasn't there, Richie, on this course. As I said, that's a new course to the US Open rota. It looks pretty tough, and there's been a bit of moaning about it, I think. Well, what will Tommy's targets be?
I think a bit is a slight...
a lot, yes, you're right.
Yeah. The guys out there are... they're calling it pretty extreme. I think, having spoken to Tom, I'm sure he's got his thoughts that he's keeping to himself to some extent. But what he's saying is that it looks really interesting. He's excited to be playing it, so he's flipping it into a positive and trying to keep an attitude that's as positive as possible, because it's his first US Open. He's excited to be playing in it, and I actually think that it's going to suit his eye from the perspective that it's a links-style golf course, which, of course, from Tom being from around this area, he knows particularly well. So, the slopes, the layout of the golf course, I think it could do pretty well. The game of golf is difficult no matter what kind of golf course you're playing on. So he's still got to be good in all facets of the game, and we'll kind of see what happens come tomorrow.
Yeah, a few people have made the links style comparison, I think, because I think Rory McIlroy said it as well. So it could work in the Brits' favour in general then, really. Yeah,
I had a look at the forecast yesterday for the week ahead to see if the wind was going to get up as well, because that could have made it even more interesting than it already is. But I think it's going to stay relatively calm. But a lot of guys out there are saying that it's going to play similar to the Open. It's going to be pretty firm. It's going to run pretty fast. But I think as an added extra, it's going to be particularly long. So the guys who are hitting it a good distance are going to have a slight advantage. Tom can be put into that category as well, because he certainly puts it out there. He can hit it a good distance. So I can't wait to see how it starts tomorrow, just to kind of see how these guys tackle it, and how the USGA set the golf course up. Because from what the guys have been saying in the press, I think they're a bit concerned, to be honest, in terms of how tough they're gonna make it.
Do you still see much of Tommy at the club at Formby Hall nowadays?
We see him on a regular basis when he's at home, Paul. Yeah, he uses the facility very regularly when he's not touring the world on playing golf. So he comes in and hits some shots, and on the range he uses the golf course quite substantially, and he uses the gym. I don't know if you caught Golfing World was on. It was on through the day today, and there was a preview of Tom and interviewing him about his training regime, how much he works out and how much he treats the sport as an athlete. So he's here, and he spends a good bit of his time when he's at home. He spends some of it resting, and then he gets once he feels rested and recuperated, he's back at it, grinding away and working as hard as he can to take his game on to the next level.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, fingers crossed for him. Hopefully it's a great tournament for him. And thank you very much for coming on. Good to speak to you, Richie.
Pleasure, Paul. Thanks very much.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye. That's Richie Marsden, head instructor at the PGA Academy at Formby Hall. Good luck to Tommy Fleetwood.